Happy New Day. Happy New and Beautiful Day. This is the day that we have chosen to be a part of and create and co-create in. So if you do not like what you see, you have to become what it is that you want to see, be, and experience. Happy New and Beautiful Day, and welcome to the Changing of the Mindset podcast, where all levels of consciousness can come together in this little spot and experience many versions of selves and level of consciousness in the essence of a unified feel and wholeness. Right? Well, hello there, my Mr. Overhead. Hey, Mr. Overhead. Hey, my beautiful friend. Look at you, all early. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Divine Love, Healing, and Wholeness. Gratitude for your presence, and thank you for tuning into my frequency so early in the rising. T-Love, the beautiful, beautiful T-Love has arrived. Gratitude for your presence, beautiful. Thank you for tuning into my frequency. Divine love, healing, and wholeness unto you as well. And welcome. I'm so grateful to have you guys. You guys are first in the class. Gratitude. All right, you guys. Let me go ahead and get these disclaimers out of the way, right? So I've said what I've said already. I've said something. Hey, yeah. Gratitude. Yes, indeed. Yes, Mr. Overhead. Yes. So we're going to get into it. Today is going to be like a Build-A-Bear. Hi, sir, yeah. Hey, beautiful. Gratitude for your presence. Thank you for tuning into my frequency. Divine love, healing, and wholeness unto you as well. And welcome. Yes, today is going to be like a Build-A-Bear day. I'm going to do the best that I can do with a little bit of fundamentals of how I'm beginning to once again understand my now moment. But let me go ahead and get these disclaimers out of the way. I'm just here to give a version of self and to move into the pure essence of how I see my now moment in my authenticity. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do or how to be, because you are divinely created to create your own relative reality how you so seem fit to do. You're perfectly capable, so I'm not here to tell y'all how to live your life. However, I am here to just, give you something to think about and make some suggestions. I'm just going to make some suggestions. That's all. And pretty much just tell you how I see myself. That's really pretty much what it is. But nevertheless, I'm not here to tell you what to do or how to be. And last but not least, any content creator or celebrity that I speak upon on this platform, all information, including the one that they put out there for public consumption, is heavily alleged. For I do not know them people. They are not a part of my personal experience or relative reality. I'm only going out there saying what I done heard that done put out there for public scrutiny and all that other good stuff and bad stuff and in between stuff. But regardless of what, it is alleged. All right. But all things on this live and any other subsequent live that I do, it is in the purest of unconditional love, divine love and healing and wholeness to each and every one, even in conversation that has been placed out there for public consumption. So it's all unconditional love. All right, so now that I got that all out of the way, I'm going to talk about what version of the self do you prefer? And we're going to talk about a little bit of business strategies, not necessarily from an MBA perspective, but a metaphysical perspective of how do you see yourself. And it's kind of going to be like somewhat like a Build-A-Bear type of thing, because as I say, I make a proclamation to be healed. So in the essence of me being in this space, I done added one more proclamation to it to kind of come to the forefront, not running in the background programs, but to be in the forefront program. So I'm making a proclamation to be healed so that the healing frequencies of my light can commence as well in doing so for those who decide to tune into my frequency. So that's my proclamation now, the healing proclamation, so that thus it shall be. With all of the other things that I self-proclaim, okay? So that's what's going to be. But as I've said with the title, right? Which version of self do you prefer? And let's talk business. Because what happens in terms of making choices for self is that it does come with a sense of awareness. You got to be aware of self, and you have to begin to take out of the distraction noises of all things that we were in agreement with before, that is no longer suitable to what it is that you, the being, want to experience in this relative reality. What I was saying yesterday, and part of how to even understand what we call the Illuminati, or how to even understand what we call the Cabal and different things of that nature, is that they move from an aware state of consciousness that allows us to remain unaware of self. Well, hello there, beautiful Shell. Hey, beautiful. Oh, wow. Divine rising unto you, beautiful. Thank you for tuning into my frequency. Divine love, healing, and wholeness unto you. I am so very grateful to have you here. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. So, we have all of these many different things that are out there, that our perception is that it's low vibe, or that it's egregious in nature, or that it's war-minded, and all of these many modalities that, because it is voiced and it is expressed, there is a reality, energy generating for that reality to be experienced. So it is a true reality, right? But then you have to decide what version of self you want to experience within this aspect of being, and whatever dimensional mind you want to operate from. Even within the physical expression of self, you could tap into that essence of self to bring that essence of self into what we will perceive to be the lower mind. So you do have the ability. It's just coming into self and becoming aware of where you want to tap into, what density of consciousness you want to tap into while you're having your physical reality. And so therefore, what version of self do you want to present in the physical realm of you experiencing? Because always remember, there is infinite possibilities. Everything and anything and nothing at the same time can commence, right? So there's infinite possibilities. The difference between myself and maybe somebody else is that I don't have no structure. I'm not structured. So if you're looking for structure, I'm not your girl for structure, because I'm too liberated. My mind is too liberated in the essence of the freedom of self for me to have any type of structure. So yes, you're going to probably hear people say you can't go to 5D, and then here come me and say, yes, the hell you can. You know what I'm saying? I can if I want to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not structured, but also remember, as I've said, I'm only giving you how I understand my now moment, right? And this version of self is my essence of pure authenticity, no matter how outlandish and crazy it may sound to somebody else. It made perfect sense to me, okay? But I'm just sharing that aspect of self with you guys. But nevertheless, you have to decide what version of self do you want to experience and express in the third dimensional mind. And the most easiest way to do that, fortunately, but unfortunately, is when you become aware that you are able to do that. And so some of the examples that I'm going to give you guys that is actually doing that is your Cabal, is your Illuminati, is your Elon Musk, is your Jeff Bezos, and many different other people, right? Wanderlust is me, okay? Right? It's so many different. That's the beauty about understanding yourself in power, understanding yourself in knowing, understanding yourself in liberation, that you're not bound to anything other, unless you want to experience that. And when you begin to understand how energy works and different things of that nature, in terms of even in the essence of co-creation, then you begin to pick and choose wisely who you actually co-create with, in which I'm going to parlay that into, businesses and different business ventures that you may partner with and different things of that nature. You have to really be aware of the energy that you're integrating with. In terms of even in businesses and different things of that nature. But how you see yourself is very, very significant in terms of anything that you do in any reality. How you see yourself is very important, and it's imperative in terms of how you create. You know what I'm saying? So, the first thing that, I sit down and ask myself is that what version of self do I want to experience here in this relative reality? Now, a lot of people might say, oh, we are ascending into fifth dimensional mind, which is also like a stagnant way of thinking, because it's, you're waiting for some type of event to take place in order for you to step into that aspect of being, if that is what you truly desire to be, is at a higher level of consciousness expressing. But you don't have to wait for any type of anomaly or an event to take place, other than when that anomaly, with you becoming aware of self, once that kick in and start generating and different things of that nature, then it's a home run from there. Because once you go into that space, it's like there's no turning back. You know what I'm saying? It's because you begin to feel the subtle essences of the liberated version of self. Okay. So with that being the case, and different things of that nature, you want to have a conversation with self and say, okay, you assess your life. Okay. And I'm speaking what I'm actually doing for myself. Okay. So, but I'm speaking it in a way where I'm actually talking to you, but this is actually what I'm doing for myself. So, I assess myself. I assess my life. I assess, in taking ownership, as I said yesterday, taking ownership and responsibility for how the creation, what has been presented, for me, by me, right? I'm taking ownership and responsibility for it. So it's accountability. So now, now that I'm taking accountability for, what I have created in my relative reality, what version of self now do I want to now place in the forefront to give me a different relative reality to experience, right? What do I need to do about me? Because this is why I say that's why I make a proclamation of the healing frequency. Because now it is really making you sit down and have conversations with yourself, make an assessment, because now you've taken ownership and responsibility for your life, make an assessment of what it is that you are in agreement with, what is already happening, what you're no longer in agreement with, where you want to collapse into an essence, right? Where it's no longer part of your relative reality, and what you want to implement as a new experience in the reality, to which you have to become vibrationally attuned to, so that flow of that experience can now become integrated with you, the being that is creating the reality. Okay. Now, if you guys want me to slow it down or whatever the case may be, because remember, I understand what I'm saying. But I want you guys to get it too as well. Right. But it's about, taking ownership and responsibility. And that is first and foremost, one of the greatest things you could do in terms of you being in that space of healing. And that's my healing space. I made a total 360-degree assessment of my reality. I took accountability and responsibility for all things that I have created to experience. And so now that I'm looking and assessing of how I want to experience this person, how I want to experience this person, how I want to experience my job, how I want to experience myself. Okay. So as I begin to assess, right, I'm dropping off them bags, like what Erykah Badu told us to do, bag a lady. I'm dropping off of the bags that, that's weighing me down. That heavily, sedates you. Now, we do have, in this experience, we have what is perceptualized as traumas and different things of that nature, past lives traumas, through epigenetics in our DNA and all this other kind of story. But remember, these are stories. And if you are in agreement with those stories, then that activates that aspect of being for that reality to be a true reality for you. So this is why I speak healing unto myself, right? So that way it's not that I'm abating the traumas or not identifying the traumas. Is that if there is anything there, I'm speaking from a healed state of being. Okay. So now what that's going to do is resolve and dissolve that aspect of perceptualized trauma, so that it can free up space, because now you're choosing a reality where you are a healed version of self. Okay. And I know I make it sound simple, like, oh, you could just speak it and that's what it is. Yeah, you can. That's pretty much what it is. I mean, if you really want it bad enough, if that's your truth, it thus it shall be. You know, and I know that, you know, I make it sound so simple, but I see you in power. I don't see you in docility. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, I don't see you in the essence of not being capable of, you know, creating your own reality, because whether you are aware of it or not, you are creating your reality by how you understand your now moment. So the most important thing to do is to understand your now moment and what is the contributing factors to the experiences that you prefer and experiences that you don't prefer. And yes, I'm going to go out there on a limb and say there's a perfect reality. Absolutely. If there's an imperfect reality, why can it not be a perfect reality? Right? Because if there's imperfections, there's perfections. You understand what I'm saying? And then, so therefore, the narratives and the stories may say, well, divine, you know, it doesn't go like that, and different things of that nature. And like I said, I respect the fact of how the consciousness, you know, your essence of consciousness want to see this reality. But that's what you're creating for yourself, for whatever the reasons are for the evolution of how you want to experience and express. That doesn't necessarily negate that what you say is identical to what it is that I want to experience. So it's up to me to agree with external versions of selves if I want to experience that relative reality that they are you know, putting out there for me to consider. You understand what I'm saying? It's up to you to accept that value of what someone else outside of you says. Okay. And so that's the thing. So, you know, when you get into the essence of doing a 360 analysis of self, and that's sitting down, and that's really for me what I did, sit down and had a conversation with myself, looked at everything, looked at my husband, looked at my children. I got into a deep, conversation with myself. It actually was yesterday morning, before I got up. It was, you know, you might want to call it a prayer or whatever the case may be. And I said, I started to speak life unto, versions of selves, that is operating, in what my perception of the reality to be, in a lower vibrational essence of being. Like they're in a stagnant state of mind. And so that's why there's a saying that says, no weapons formed against me shall have any prosperity. Because when you have the ability to experience any, like I can experience you in a version of you that I, want to experience you in. Okay. If you are in agreement with that experience, right? So, what I've envisioned, right? Just making an assessment. I'm people that it's like would perceive that is not having an experience that is more jovial or more happy, where, they're seeing themselves and their higher selves and different things of that nature. I push that narrative out there. I want to see this person operating within their higher self. I want to see this person. I want to experience this person happy. I want to experience this person in their higher version of self. I want to experience this person in the essence of unconditional love. I want to. So now I'm pushing out this energy, this healing energy, right? That if this person is receptive in agreement to the co-creation of that experience with me, then guess what? I'm going to experience this person in a higher version of themselves. I'm going to experience this person in unconditional love. I'm going to experience this person in, because now they're in an agreement with me. But the thing of it is that I'm sending that frequency out there to them, for them to accept the, approve or denied, right? Okay. So, good morning. Over Coca-Cola. Yes, exactly. Yes. But before that even happened, Mr. Over it, I was in my bed, and this was like before the sun came out or whatever. And I was up, and I just started to say, how do I want to experience these people? Because a lot of times what we do, we will say dumb shit like, I'm not going to say dumb shit, but we'll go with the narrative of the negative more so than see them in another version of themselves, right? Because we have multiple versions of selves. So, if you realize that a person is going through traumas and they had a bad life, You now, as a person that is aware, is going to say, okay, I want to see that person in a higher version of themselves. I want to see a version of that person heal. You can send that energy signal out, because you know that there is and you never know what they may be receptive to it, and then a change may commence because they're in agreement with that experience. So just like you can send bad energy to somebody, you can also send good energy to somebody. But it has to be a true, you really have to truly want to have that experience with those people and co-create, in that essence. Yes, to see a difference, to see through choice. Yes, Mr. Overt, indeed. Yes, exactly. Because that you have the power. And like I said, I'm going to always talk in power. I'm not going to talk in that shit of docility, because that's the reason why many of us is saying, oh, we're in a war. I'm not in no war with nobody. I'm aware. Right? Transmuting. Yes, I'm aware. I'm not in a war. If I'm aware, why would I be in war? I'm aware. I'm aware of myself, at any capacity that it presents itself to be, whether it's the most egregious aspect of being or the most benevolent aspect of being, or even in the essence of the in-between. And I know that's kind of it's hard for a lot of people to see it in that way. But this is the reason why, I'm going out on a limb and exampling this essence of frequency, so that, as crazy as it may sound, it's there for an option. And yes, you're going to have somebody. See, the difference between maybe me and somebody else, nobody can talk me out of this, because I'm too liberated in the space. And if what you're saying is going to restrict and confine me, that ain't the version of self that I want to experience. Although it may be true for you, and you may have some seasoning and some backup and, some whatever it is that you can, sustain and validate and confirm. Okay, that's good for you. And I may not be able to validate shit. I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. You'll see it for yourself, because it's going to be exampled. Whether there's any documents or proof or anything to support or substantiate it, I'm the motherfucking proof. I'm the proof. You know what I'm saying? Right? It's good for me. Right. Exactly. And a lot of people are afraid to step into those shoes, because we have been so conditioned to being told what to do in the limited version of self in those experiences. They don't tell Elon. Elon got whole satellite systems and shit like that, and he doing whatever the fuck he want to do. Even with the e-commerce trading and different things of that nature, he does what he wants to do, because he's in a version of himself in physical form. When you begin to understand what version of self you want to experience in physical form, you could tap into that version of self if you begin to ascend into the essence of the vibration and frequency that allows you to be able to express in physical form in that way. You're not limited to, you have many versions of selves that you could tap into to experience yourself in physical form. And see, this is the information, a lot of the information that is propagated is fear-based. It's fear-based. It doesn't have this essence of, love in unconditional aspects, where you are the liberated version of self. The liberated version of self still, to many of us, have, that separational clause. That you're better, that separational clauses and different things of that nature, to which that's okay. I don't have no objection to it, but that's not the reality that I prefer. Now, once again, it's whatever you choose to put together. That's just like putting an outfit together. You got some people that, color coordinate, and then another perversion of self, their color coordination is every color of the rainbow, and they feel like they fly. You know what I'm saying? It's what you put together in terms of how you want to experience and express. But my objective here is to send out signals of healing frequencies, seeing other versions of myself in a co-creative value that is within my space as healed, as whole, right? Example what that looks like, right? So that, if they feel that signal coming onto them, and then they see me, there's an association and an assimilation, right? And then if they energetically agree, because you can't violate free will, but you can send that essence out there, because if it's something that, just like how they hijack your consciousness by sending you signals of experiences that you don't want to experience, but because we did not know no different to say that's not my thought, and the reason why it's not your thought, because that's not your truth. If it's something that you don't want to experience, but yet it's still you thinking it, that's not intuition. That's hijacking. Because guess what? You can, even if you hear something like that in your mind, right? Even if you hear something like that in your mind, you have the ability to change that reality where you don't experience that experience with that person. Now, is it to say that that experience won't happen? Yes, but you won't be a part of that experience, because that's an experience that you decline. That's an experience that you did not allow to come into the repertoire of your energy to get the conjuring of the energy for that thought to become a relative reality to make. That's why we have so much crime. If many of us decided to say, you know what, we don't want to experience crime anymore, and if all of us got together and said no more crime, then thus it shall be. If we begin to say no to experiences that goes against our truth, then this world would probably be a much better place to be in. You understand? We wouldn't have no crime. Many people would be like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So it would dissolve, it would collapse, because there's no energy. So the hijacking of the consciousness, right? The hijacking. Hi, Sandy. Hey, beautiful. Soul Awakening with Sandra. Hi, beautiful. How are you? Gratitude for your presence. Thank you for tuning into my frequency. Divine love, healing, and wholeness unto you. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, Hercules. Gratitude for your presence. Thank you for being here. So, it's just a matter of becoming aware. Okay? It's just a matter of becoming aware and beginning to understand that, you don't have to co-create with every reality that comes into your mind, right? And everything is not an intuition, because if it's something that is happening that you do not want to experience, as I said yesterday, I'm not going to validate it by telling somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, and then now you got somebody else's energy coming in to amplify, to bring the experience over into the essence of the into the equation. Okay, right? So if you are the power, I got the power. You are the power. So no, my narratives is going to be completely different, because I express more so in liberation, right? And if I wanted to bring a version of myself, in physical form, a third dimensional level of consciousness, or a fourth dimensional level of consciousness, or a fifth dimensional level of consciousness, or a sixth dimensional level of consciousness in physical form, right? While I'm experiencing, if I wanted to tap into that version of myself, who says that I'm limited to do that? Unless I want to limit myself from doing it. And many of the indoctrines, the way that the indoctrines are orchestrated in the 3D self, right? It's the limited version of you. So you don't think outside of the limitations. You don't think outside of the box. You think that, and we go along with the narratives of what others are saying instead of what you telling yourself. Y'all can call me whatever you want to call me. It's either I agree to it or I don't. That's how I see it. I'm not going to let your limitations limit me. If you want to experience limitation, that you are quite well, you're welcome to do so. Opting out of the thought. Yes, you have to opt out of the thought. That's not my thought. Not my thought. I don't care how it is. Oh, girl, I had this intuition about such and such. No, I ain't telling that. Do I want to see that happen to that individual? Do I want to see that? I don't want that to be a part of my experience. So I'm not giving it no life. That's not my thought. And so, but in the same equation, guess what else I can do? I can see that unhealed version of self, which means it's somebody else, and I can send healing frequencies. I can heal. Hijacking is for the good and the bad, right? You can hijack it, just like they can hijack you in thought process to make you create a reality that you don't want to experience. You can do the same thing to put a thought in somebody else's that is in agreement, right, with it, to create a reality that you do want to experience. That shit go both ways. It ain't no one-way street to that. It go both ways. It goes both ways. Stay in your, hey, Mary, yes, stay in your own reality. You can create whatever reality, and you can send signals, energetic signals, benevolent of such, right, to those that you see that need that you want to liberate them. You want to send the signals of liberation. That's why I'm on here every day. I'm on here sending signals of liberation for those who are ready, to experience the liberated version of themselves, because that is a true free energy. That is a true free energy. Yes, other energies can be generated in terms of being free, but the true free energy is the liberation of the consciousness that is being, operating under the experience of the limited version of self. The true liberation is your consciousness. The true liberation is being aware. The true liberation is picking and choosing wisely what you decide to, co-create with, or what you decide to energetically integrate with, right? That's being aware. The greatest thing that is happening right now in this now moment is that people are becoming aware of themselves, because that's all we really needed to do is be aware. Hi, Jordan Music Co. Wow. Supreme Rising Divine. Thank you. Gratitude for your presence. Thank you for tuning in to my frequency. Divine love, healing, and wholeness unto you. And welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad that you are here. Thank you for being here. Right? So even like a business endeavor or whatever the case may be, you may go into business with somebody. And if you guys are not synchronized, right, and having an essence of synchronicity between each other energetically, their doubt can infiltrate what it is that you want to do, because they're not sure of themselves. Whereas that you're sure, but they're not sure. So that's why a lot of businesses fail, because they, you got partners that is still in doubt of themselves. They got something going on within themselves, and they're thinking about it, and they're integrating it with it and different things of that nature. And because we didn't understand how to deal with the energy aspect of the experience, we're coddling, we're coddling it, right? But if I was to send energy to them, energetically, even through verbal words, we could do this. You know what I'm saying? But that is an infiltration. That is an infiltration, because the person is being infiltrated through doubt. Because, okay, think about it this way. You are perfect. You are a perfect being. You are perfect. You are eternal. Your eternal aspect of being is perfect. So when you're having doubts, and when you're having worries, when you're unsure yourself, those are programs. Those are programs that alter your states of perfection. But if you go into the path of least resistance or no resistance at all, you're going to begin to operate in your perfect state of being. Now, I know a lot of people is not going to agree with what I'm saying, but you don't have to. Because this is my story. This is my song. It's my story. Right? You're welcome, Sandy. Thank you, Jordan. You're welcome, Sandy. Like I said, this is my version of how I understand mine now. And I get that it's not traditional. It's not, it's really divinely unique because you don't really hear a lot of people saying it in that way. Right? But nevertheless, I'm sharing this aspect of myself because, as I said at the beginning of the live, I'm making a proclamation of being healed. I'm healed. Right? And in order for me to get into that space, for that to be a reality, I got to keep saying it, and I mean what I say, and I say what I mean, right? And so in the essence of all of that transformation that is commencing with me, I'm sending those signals and frequencies out to those who are in agreement to receive it, right? That's my contribution, okay? Hola, 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 Cosmos, Cosmos, Cosmos in the building now. Cosmos, Cosmos, Cosmos in the building now. Hey, woo! Oh, God, what's up, Cosmos? Cosmos is in the building. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. Gratitude for your presence. Thank you for tuning into my frequency. Divine love, healing, and wholeness unto you. I am so very grateful to have you here, my brother. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Jordan says, and it is needed, your frequency and energy. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. The thing of it is that, you know, the beauty about being in this space is that I realize that we can pick, choose, and refuse whatever storyline that is out there to be, you know, energetically experienced, right? But I will say for me, the essence of being aware, you know, allows me to pick, choose, and refuse now what that storyline that I want to co-create with, or what I want to experience in my relative reality, right? And so now I see people differently. You know what I'm saying? I will give you an opportunity, and I get it. But, you know, I will give you an opportunity to, you know, see yourself in a better light, because I know deep down inside, Buddy Love, that it's there. You are perfect. You are perfect having an experience. So all of the worries, all of the trials, the tribulations, the traumas, and all of these many different things are what your perfect self allowed to have programmed so that you can have this experience. But if you begin to realize that the essence of you coming into this is a perfect being, and all of those things that has happened, even though it's a strong energy. Now I'm not knocking the strength of the energy, because that shit, it's strong on both sides of the spectrum. It's still the divine essence of the eternal self that is energetically providing energy for all things that is. So the energy on both sides of the scale is strong. I wholeheartedly agree with that. But when you begin to see yourself as a perfect being, having these experiences of trauma, these experiences of loss, these experiences of destitute, these experiences of, you know, poverty, or these experiences of, you know, being wealthy, or, you know, being liberated, or whatever it is, the true base of you is perfection. It is because of the perfect you why you're having these experiences. It is because of the power that you are in terms of the eternal consciousness that is aware of itself, is why you are as powerful as you are. It is because of the perfect you, the eternal you, the powerful you, is why you are experiencing all of these many different things that has told you that you're not worthy. You are worthy. You just think that you're not. By people, places, persons, and things and shit, right? You are. You are the very power that we give to our government. You are the very power that you give to the cabal. You are the very power that you give in a negative light to these entities and different things of that nature. You're giving it away to experience whatever comes out of that experiences by doing so. But take all of that back and peel all that back and go down to the knit and the grit. You're perfect. You're perfect and you're powerful. The true eternal essence of you deep down inside, Buddy Love, you are perfect and you are powerful. You're so perfect, you created that you needed to be healed. You're so perfect that you created that you needed to experience poverty. You're so perfect, you got tired of experiencing poverty, so now you want to experience abundance. You're so perfect, you done created all of this shit. All of it. And you're so perfect, they ain't got nothing going on at the same time. You're so powerful, you can just sit and just be. You're so powerful, you can create this shit all over again. You're so powerful, you can say lights out. Quantum leap. So just like they could biohack and give you experiences and put stuff in your head to create a reality that you don't want, I can send healing signal. I can do the same thing. And if that signal that I send to you in healing, that same thought that came into my mind of an experience that I didn't want to experience, I can send a signal out to you, and that same thought will come into your mind and say, you know what, I'm worthy. And then you can agree to that. And thus it shall be. I can send a signal and say, I want to experience this person, the healed version of himself. I can send a signal out and say, I want to experience this person in a happy version of itself. I can send a signal out to these beings. I want to experience them in unconditional love. I want to experience the healed version of them. I want to experience them seeing themselves worthy. I want to experience them seeing themselves successful. I want them to experience them successful. And when them signals come, and guess what? I'm gonna back it up. So once I send the signals out, right? I'm gonna say, you know you successful. You know you healed. You know you were. Now I'm affirming the shit, right? Do unto others as you will have those to do unto you. I am here to liberate. You know why? Because I'm liberating myself. Proclamation made. So thus it shall be. You know why the healed version? Because proclamation made. I'm healing. I'm healed. Self-proclaim. So now you got me backing it up. I done sent the signal out. You contemplating. Damn. I feel like I'm worthy, but I'm unsure. Because the energy got your hook, line, and song. That experience got your hook, line, and song. Because you don't see yourself as perfect. You don't see yourself as perfect having the experience. You don't see yourself as perfect having the experience, the created experience by how you understand. You don't see yourself in power. So I'm here to remind you. Do this in remembrance of me. Be the example. That's all I'm here to do. There are versions of selves that want to take the slow, they want to take the scenic route. And that's fine. They want to go through the formalities of, this, that, and the other, and the beautiful, elaborate stories and different things of that nature. And that's perfectly fine. But just like they could send a signal out to create a reality that you don't want to experience in the third density of being, a higher version of self can send a signal out to tell you that you are worthy. Just like I got to agree to that signal being sent out that was biohacked that I don't want to experience, I still got to agree to another signal coming out that may be of a benevolent aspect of being. I still got to agree to accept that and co-create with that. I still got to agree to exchange with that energy, integrate with that energy, that frequency, and allow it to become a part of me so that it can be projected as a reality. Yeah, some want to leap, but they're afraid because they don't see the perfect self. I see the perfect self in myself. It took me a minute now. I ain't finna front. I ain't faking the fuck. I ain't gonna lie. This shit. Hey, some people might say, "Oh, is it?" Well, it wasn't that easy to be. I went through some things to get here. But I realized that when I began to trust my truth, no matter what that looked or sound like, that's when things really began to get easier. Because when I took out the background noise and the distractions and different things like that, that's when things begin to get easier. Joy said, come on now. Ain't no fronting, Finners. Okay, man. Okay, Mr. Ovid know back in the day, I went through some things, okay? Right? But I'm being honest and I'm being transparent because I think that is a necessity, for people to realize that, it's someone out here that got your back. Yes, it sure does get easier. Yes, when you trust you, no matter what that shit look like. Like I have somebody that I know right now that was labeled, a menace to society. And anytime you accept that, and people begin to see you as that, and you accept that, then what do you think is going to happen? You are in agreement with that experience. It's when now you begin to see yourself moving in a different version. of self. That is also there simultaneously. You just have to, yes, you will become, yes, you become, exactly. You become whatever you are in agreement with to experience. And to separate from that density is just like, to give you an example of that movie Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg. When he was trying to come out of Whoopi's body, they both felt like they had been struck by a truck. When you're trying to separate from a density, right? That is just as powerful. It's probably like Velcro. Like I told y'all, that shit is like Velcro. Two pieces of Velcro snapped together. Like that shit is stuck like Chuck. So now you're trying to pull it apart. You're trying to separate from that energy. Yes, Velcro, Mr. Obi. Velcro. See the perfect you. There is a perfect you. Having these experiences, however you are. Yes, quantum entanglement. Yes. But the energy is just powerful. The energy on the dark side is the same energy on the light. Light is information. Dark is the power. The etheric aspect of being. So when you get the light to illuminate the darkness become aware of itself. The darkness was so smart that it created light information to stimulate an aspect for an essence of awareness for the experience of it all. Let me tell you something, y'all. I can't make this shit up. It is so mesmerizing that everything that I say here on my own initiative, I'll go somewhere and it'll repeat itself of what I came unto myself in knowing. This is how I know I'm creating the shit, because I'm getting the aftermath. Dark is power. Light is information. They're married. They're one. So I know that there's a lot of stories, but you know, what I had to do was put them stories aside and say, okay, what is my story? If I was to sit down and read my story to me, how does that story sound? So now I got to do checks and balances, right? You continue to create your reality wherever you go. That's right, Mary. Indeed. Ms. Overy say light is knowledge. Yes, indeed. Self-awareness. Yes, indeed. Mary said you continue to create your reality wherever you go. Yes, indeed. You have to see yourself. Ms. Overy say see you. Yes, indeed. You have to see yourself. Absolutely. So while many of us, you know, I was in that same boat. I was looking around trying to figure shit out and everything, because it wasn't making no sense, because I knew I was feeling one way, but the reality was showing me something different. And I'm like, okay, I'm confused. What the hell is going on? We are the creators. That's right. Wherever we go, there we are. We are here. Exactly, Mary. And King Cosmos, yes. We are the creators of our reality. I know many people are like, oh, I create this shit. Yes, you did. However you experiencing it, because I guarantee your experience is different than mine. We ain't experiencing the same shit. And now people talk about we. Ain't no we. I ain't French. Right? That's how they get you. All black folks wasn't going through slavery. All black folks wasn't going through racism and different things of that nature. We were not all going through that. But through the illusion, we allowed for that indoctrination to be a part of our reality. But just like we agreed to it, if we decided, just like how I decided, I ain't in that, I ain't participating in that racism. I don't want to be a part of that racist programming. That is not a program that I prefer. That is not an application that I'm willing to download on my iPhone. For those in the back of the room that don't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. That is not a programming that I'm willing to download on my phone. I don't want that program. Yes, Cosmos, change your perception. Change how you see yourself. That's why I'm here. To tell you that you are the purest of divine unconditional love. If I did not have a glimpse of that energy in this now moment to be able to give you guys something, that feeling there, that essence of energy, is indescribable. All I know is that all my body know how to do is cry when I step into that frequency. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. Yes, Mary. Yes, Mary. Perfection and imperfection. Yes, we are experiencing imperfection. But the eternal you, the light with the information and the darkness, the eternal essence of the power that is married, is one and the same. The eternal you is perfect. 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 So what does the perfect you want to tap into? What you want to get into? What does the perfect you want to get into? Do you want to get into some lies? He lied and cheated. You want to get into some lies? The perfect you want to experience some lies and some cheating? Or the perfect you want to experience yourself being an infinite and boundless or whatever? What the perfect you want to experience now? What does the perfect you want to experience? Does the perfect you want to experience depression? Does the perfect you want to experience trauma? Does the perfect you want to experience poverty? Does the perfect you want to experience religion? Does the perfect you want to experience them working? Does the perfect you want to experience God's outside of self? Does the perfect, that list go on and on and on and on. What does the perfect you want to experience? What does the perfect you prefer to experience? Because we can get into some shit now. The perfect you is down with the shits now. It's down with it. So they can stay booked and busy. Through its vivid imagination. Mr. Overage says, Cosmo says divine. Okay. Mr. Overage says, I want self-awareness to be the choice vibration. You already proclaiming it, Mr. Overett, and thus it shall be. It is. And two in agreement. What they said in the Bible, two in agreement. If I could get you to agree, that's the hijack. If I could get you to agree, two in my name agreeing, then you amplified the essence of creation, because now you've given amplification to the thought so that it can come into fruition and manifestation. So it can come into physical form for it to be experienced or projected for an experience. So just like you can send bad fuck signals out, I can send unconditional love, divine signals out. But guess what? Can't violate free will. That's the example of Jesus knocking at the door. All right. You gonna let a brother in? You gonna let a sister in? All right. You're not, I'm knocking. You know what I'm saying? That's you gotta agree to the shit. So why the hell would I get a signal of a thought process to an experience that I don't want to experience? I don't give a damn. Ain't no intuition in that. If it's something that I don't want to experience, it's not intuitive. Because your intuitive is not going to give you an experience that you don't want to experience. That shit ain't my experience. Send that shit back to where it come from. Fall that shit back into the third density, lower vibrational essence of being mind, where that shit come from. Because over here, I'm not wishing nobody to get hurt. If now that I know what I know, man, I ain't second that motion on shit. I'm sending all those intuitive, negative experiences or bad experiences, right? I'm sending all that shit back to which it came from. I don't want to experience that shit. Collapsing it. Oh, divine, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. Don't come and imposing that shit on me. No, you feel that you can't do that. Divine, that ain't how I go. No, that ain't how I go for you. I don't give a damn how crazy it sounds. I'm crazier than you. To me, it makes perfect sense. See, when you don't give a shit about what externals say and tell you and different things of that nature, you don't care about how it is. That's why I make it say this is how I see my now moment, because nobody can come and check me on shit. Because it's how I see it. I ain't saying that it is for everybody. I'm saying that that's what it is for me. I ain't in no violation of nobody's free will. That's how it is for me. But I know that my light is luminous enough that y'all gonna get the point. Okay? No, it's bright enough. Informative enough. Light is information. Mary, you laughing at me. Cosmo say, I don't second that motion. Okay? Exactly. You have a choice. That's why they got the drawings that Jesus knock at the door. What was his name that was on Friday? Oh shit. DC. I can't think of his name. But he played the daddy of he played the uncle to whatchamacallit to damn, I can't think of these names now. God damn. I can't think of his name now. But he said, you hear me knocking? So let me in. You know what I'm saying? You gotta agree to that shit. Y'all didn't see that subliminal. Jesus just went to the door and opened the door and say, I'm here. He knocked. Because you cannot, DC Curry, yes, thank you, Cosmos. Yeah, because you can't just walk in on somebody else's consciousness. You gotta ask for permission. So when those hijacked thoughts come to your mind, and if it's something that you don't want to experience, and Craig, yes, Day and Craig, yes, thank you, Cosmos. When that comes to you, and okay, like the 888 portal, right? I'm game with it. Let me tell you why I'm game with the 888 portal, right? Because in my experience of the 888 portal, is what I make that bitch to be. That's just like, give me a tent and tell me to decorate it. I'm going to decorate it the way I want to decorate it. I'm going to affirm what I want to affirm. I'm going to do what I want to do with that energy. You ain't going to tell me how to participate. You ain't going to tell me what it is that you want me to believe. I'm going to tell myself what it is to me. But see, the difference between me and somebody else and stuff like that is that I got access to... I digress. Oh, Gulmar. Oh, I am well. I know I'm finna say your name wrong. Gulmar. I don't know. Sorry. Don't charge my heart. But welcome. Thank you for tuning into my frequency. Divine love, healing, and wholeness unto you. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Right? So when you begin to really stand in your truth and your divine, truth, it changes it just changes how things actually go. It just changes it. You are the change. As I said yesterday, you are the change. Whatever, you are the change. But my thing of it is like I said, how I understand my now moment is that I'm perfect. And I have accepted values for me to experience imperfection. I'm worthy. But I've accepted values and beliefs to make me think that I'm not. I'm divine. But I've accepted values of these experiences that tells me that I'm not. When you see yourself as the perfect being that you truly are, when you peel back the layers and you know that, it changes how you experience. When somebody that comes up to you with a whole full-fledged argument or whatever the case may be, they're perfect. Experiencing whatever alternate that they have allowed to be a part of them to experience themselves out of their perfection. You can see them whole. I see Cosmos whole. I see Mr. Overett whole. I see Mary whole. I see T Love whole. Now, that signal has been sent out. I see all of you guys healed. That signal been sent out. Right? Now, guess what it's going to do? Like the subliminal. Jesus knocking at the door. Knock, knock. Who's there? A signal, I'm healed. Knock, knock. Who's there? A signal, I'm worthy. Knock, knock. Who's there? A signal, I'm sick. That's when you turn Jehovah's Witness. That's when you start rejecting. You open the door for that shit, right? Okay, right. Knock, knock. Who is it? I'm poor. Knock, knock. Who is it? I'm oppressed. Knock, knock. Who is it? I'm racist. Knock, knock. Who is it? You reject all that shit? Well, I reject all that shit. Me, personally. I'm aware. Hercules. I'm aware. And when you understand it from that, okay, so with responses, give me a 1. When I say that you're perfect, do you understand now the contrast that takes you out of the experience of perfection? Do you understand it in the way that I have explained it in the examples that I've given? If you understand that, drop some ones in the comments. Okay, sir, y'all. Thank you, baby. Let me see. T-Lo say, what? Yes. Yes. Okay. Very good. I'm grateful. Very, 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 very good. Yes. And I send divine healing and wholeness to each and every one of you that is willing. And I do that every day. And it's up to you guys to, decide to accept that value. I understand that because it's not to violate anyone's free will. But it is in the essence of what it is that you create and what you allow to be a part of your repertoire. And if you're doing any type of business, the first thing to do is for me, I'm healing because, I got this business venture that I'm going to be a part of. And I realized how do I see myself? I see myself, I have no competition. The only competition is the one that I create for myself. I have no competition. I'm going into this space, fluid as myself. And any self-doubt that comes in my head, I go back into myself, into my perfect self and say, I'm experiencing self-doubt. Do I want to experience it? No. I send it back to which it came. Not my thought. That's my process now. If I get a little bubble guts or something like that because, you get a little anxiety, what you're worried about? You're perfect. Do you want to experience that anxiety? No. Send it back to from which it came. Then it's done. How do you see yourself? I see myself in fluid in anything that I do. Abundant in anything that I do. Prosperous in anything that I do. That is the experience that I am choosing. What level of consciousness what version of self do you want to operate from? The highest version of self that I could possibly attune to in this essence of being. No limit. When you sit down and ask the questions of yourself and take the will of how you want to experience and express, then it'll subtly come into form. Next thing you know, you're like, wow, I've accomplished all of this. And 10 years probably would seem like 5 minutes. Like, it's been 10 years? Wow. It looked like I just started yesterday. So what version of self do you want to experience? Because there's a plethora of them. But just know that your chemistry base, is that you're perfect, you're eternal, you're light, which is information, and your darkness, which is power. Okay? That's your base. So everything that you mix with it, that brew, that alchemy, everything that you mix with that base, now, it's going to be what it is that you agree. Child, I'm changing my whole wardrobe, y'all. Y'all gonna see me looking like, what's his name? The McDonald's clown. And listen, I feel so vibrant. I feel so, jovial and exuberated. I feel amazing. Amazing. You don't have to allow anything to steal your joy. Ronald, there we go. Hey. Thank you, Mr. Allred. Thank you, my friend. Yes, Ronald. I feel amazing. By comparison to what I was in agreement with, and what I'm in agreement with now, I'm like, whoo, shit. What a roller coaster ride that was. I was tired. So it's time for me to chill. I'm finna chill. God damn it. We finna chill. I'm finna go to work for myself and be able to take off when I want to take off and do what I want to do when I feel like it. I don't feel like being under nobody's jurisdiction or nobody goddamn calling. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. Right? That's where I'm at. That's the version of self that I want to experience in my relative reality, so thus it shall be. I'm tired of shit. I don't give a shit. $80,000 ain't enough. Shit, goddamn it. I'm alright. I was tired. Even if I don't do nothing but maybe 40,000. Listen. I ain't putting no limit on myself. I ain't putting no limit on myself. But I'm ready to. I'm moving too much into the liberated version of self. And I'm not in no competition with nobody. I know what is for me will be for me. I'm not in no competition. I don't care. You could have 20,000 people doing the same thing that you do, but what energy does that individual provide? What, the essence of you. It all determines on the energy of you. And if you're going to allow what you've already created in a lower version of self, creep itself back into the new version of you, right? to make you feel, less than. I already know that I created that lower version. So when that lower version try to creep itself back into it, I'm like, okay, I don't choose that reality no more. I don't care how much you try to present yourself as it to be something that is there for me to experience again. But I'm okay. I'm good. And I know it's going to creep up. It's going to creep up because I was in agreement with it for quite some time. So, the essence of the energy is still going to try to keep itself alive wire as being that's his job. It's a survival frequency, just like I told you, right? With my husband yesterday, when you're moving from a more denser experience, it has to cipher energy from you in order to survive. It has to take from you. And so therefore, people have to be in agreement with the hijacking of those dense experiences, because it is there to take energy from you. So recognizing the dense energies through experiences is that of confusion, is that of, unsurety, uncertainty, right? Recognizing that it's knocking like, I'm thirsty. Can you just give me a drink of water? I'm thirsty. I need some. Can you go get your jumper cables and give me a jump, please? Cause my battery low. Can you just hook me up and give me some energy? I need some energy. So why would I invest in a starving to exhaust that ass? Yeah. Why would I invest in an ideology or an experience that is there to consume me? So when somebody's coming to you with all of these goddamn problems and they ain't got no goddamn solution they ain't got no solution to even bring it to a neutralizing space, then I don't know what to tell you. But I know if it was me, I'll be like, all right now, you about to get collapsed if you ain't got no solutions to all of this deficit energy, right? That need a jump. I hope y'all understanding what I'm saying the way I'm saying it, because this shit makes so much sense to me. But I know I go out there all the way out there sometimes. But I hope you understand by these examples what I'm saying. So like for instance, when my husband came to me with all that, he woke up. My husband woke up with. I understand that he got a lot on his mind. All right, let me give you a backstory. I understand that he got a lot on his mind, but it's consuming him to where he wakes up already exhausted, right? Because these thoughts are there to take, because it's a debt-based essence of being. It is survival. So when you are allowing these problems to consume you, just know that you are in a survival state of being. That's why you're tired. That's why you're exhausted. That's why you're depressed, because it's consuming energy. So now a lot of times what happened is that you got to get some kind of regeneration out of it, because it's consuming you. It got your mind going. So now you need a partner. So now you can pull some energy from that essence. So here you are, all happy and shit and everything. They can't stand to see you happy, because by choice, see, you ain't allowing this shit to consume you. So they get mad because they allowing that shit to consume them, right? So you now walking around because you ain't letting this shit consume you. You all happy and vibrant and shit. Same shit going on, because whatever's going on with him is going on with me too, because we married. We married. The same problems he got, I got too. I just choose to fade that shit to black. I say whatever problem there is none. Because why would I give energy to problems when I don't want to experience them? So I'm keeping my energy. Them problems ain't gonna cipher no energy from me. That part says, oh my God, man, because you happy. That part is very interesting. Yes, like the energy. Because what happens is that they'll say, Well, why you not worried about, like, okay, because my husband is allowing these things to consume him, right? It's taking his energy now, because he's a very quiet man. He don't really get no trouble. But for him to be in this space, I know that it's bothering him. So that's why I don't really have no, I'm not on him and being like, what the fuck wrong with you? I ain't finna give him that. That is not what he need. Right? So I get what it is. But at the same token, with me being aware, I can now handle it. The old me would have been like, what's your problem? Why are you waking up on the wrong side of the bed? Thank God that you are alive. Right? Why you not worried can start a fight. Yes, it can. If I was in the wrong space, if I was in the wrong frame of mind. Right? But I have to be, I don't have to be the example, but the example that I am is that I tell them all the time, we're going to be all right. Now it's up to you to believe me. We're okay. Because I'm smart enough to know that if something has changed, then I got to do another change in order for it to get a different result. I can't sit here and be like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to expect for things to... No, change is constant. There are shifts that are happening right now. There are manipulated shifts and different things of that nature that are commencing. I'm not going to allow that aspect of the perfect me that can choose what I want to experience in this diameter. I'm aware. So, now it's trying to get an agreement to sustain itself. These problems and these things it needs energy. So that's why they argue with you, so that you could be in agreement with the experience. If you understand that an argument that is from an experience that you don't want to experience is a vampire, what we would call a vampire energy. It needs energy in order to sustain. It needs validation in order for it's on survival. So that debt-based aspect of being is on survival, contingent to your participation. So if you don't give it no energy and you don't participate in it, it will combust. It will combust. It needs because it's a survival. It's on survival. It needs energy. It's what we will probably call parasitic in nature. Okay? Or vampiristic or parasitic or whatever the case may be. It needs energy. It needs a host in order for it to survive. So when you are miserable, tired, aggravated, irritated, life on low, it needs energy in order to sustain. So now you're finna create a problem. You're going to be mad with everybody. Be short with everybody because shit ain't going your way, because you are in agreement with that experience. So therefore, he says, yeah, I'm here. I'm just waiting for her to get mad and fill up the tank so we can still be valid in this experience. We got her right where we want her to be. She really at the age of popping off at anybody right now. You know what I'm saying? It need energy. But when you send out that ray of light, and that's when them parents, hey, listen, I ain't calling that shit under myself, but yeah. But you are the power. You are the perfect being that can pick, choose, and refuse how you want to experience and express. God damn it. Hey, listen, the best thing that could ever happen to me right now is that shit. Because like I said, I understand that I was in agreement with, when I was in a state of unawareness, with a lot of shit. So I take ownership and accountability for all things created when I was not as aware of myself than I am now. But the buck done stopped. That shit stopped when I came on full throttle, when I'm on full lock and load right now. That shit done stopped. I ain't agreeing to shit that I don't want to experience. I don't give 1, 2 shits fucks about how you feel about whatever it is that you feel about it. If it ain't what I don't want to experience, I ain't giving a name. And thus it shall be. So it is. It is done. I don't care what it is. Well, she the first black wood. I don't care if she was red, green, yellow. I'm not partial to color. Y'all partial to color. I ain't partial to color. Oh, she a woman. I ain't partial to biological in it either. But what I do recognize is energy. Energy, 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 energy. And if everything that's coming out of their mouth is an illusion of separation, and you are a victim, and you are this, and that ain't my story. That ain't my story. That ain't my timeline. I ain't no trying to be no victim, and they doing this to me, and they doing this to us. They ain't doing shit. You believe in that shit, so thus you are creating that shit, and that's why you experiencing that shit. And if ain't nobody telling you that on the pulpit or on the stomping ground, if they ain't telling you how to be free, how to free your mind, and the rest will follow. If that shit ain't happening, it ain't for me, Captain. It ain't for me. I say, sir, y'all. If that ain't happening, it ain't for me. I don't give two shits about whether they're a biological woman. I don't give two shits. I'm not on that type of play. I'm not on that playtime. Because I realize what that does in the purity of you, because you're all things. You are a man, a woman, a dog, a cat, every damn thing. You are all things. All things. All of it. Ain't no separation around here. Not with me. And that's what a lot of other versions of selves probably have a big problem with me, because I cancel out a lot of experience that is on survival mode to exist. It needs energy in order to sustain itself. And here I am telling you that you liberated and free, and you can pick, choose, and refuse, and they trying to keep the recruitment that they already got and still trying to recruit more people into the storyline so that you can keep the storyline going. But here you guys are right over here where you free at last. Free, what you think, Dr. King meant? The liberated version of you, right? The game is over. That's why when you become liberated, they don't, it's kind of somewhat frowned upon. Because they can't play the game with you. You're no more fun. But the thing of it is that you that's the hijacked version of self. That's the hijacked version of what they call the hijacked version of self. But you can still experience this experience in physical form and still enjoy the experience as well. You're not. That's why a lot of people that do liberate themselves, this is why they're quiet. This is why they don't really talk much, and they talk among themselves and different things of that nature. But they're not going to come out here with this level of bravado. They're just quiet about the whole thing, and they just move on to their life. And I heard every man for himself, which is true. But this light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I know. And that's it. Energy, Mr. Overy. Energy. The energy, indeed. Indeed. If they're making proclamations that I'm a victim, that's a storyline. That's an experience. If they're making a proclamation that, the first black woman, that's an experience. Thought to energy, absolutely. That's right. All of this shit is experience. You are a perfect person. You are a perfect being, a very powerful, perfect being, having all of those experiences. And you have the free will to pick, choose, and refuse how you want to experience it. And anytime that anybody is coming to you with an argument and you have chose peace, and they're coming to you with an argument, that is a deficit experience. That is a parasitic experience. Depression, anger, all of that shit, your mind being consumed over problems, survival mode, that is parasite. Parasitic, and needs your energy in order to sustain and remain and to still be a part of the story. Got to take from you in order for it to have any viability. Because you're perfect. You're perfect. You're whole. So anything that's making you taking all of your energy is a whole parasite. Them thoughts that says, oh, something gonna happen to that person or whatever the case may be, collapse that shit. That's a thought. I collapse it because that's there to take. It ain't there to give. It's there to take. It needs. That's why it's going in your head. It needs you to think about it in order for it to survive. It needs to be in your head. That ain't the experience I prefer. Now, there are versions of selves. Let me put my disclaimers out there. There's versions of selves that understand this whole thing that I'm saying right now. You know, they got a whole other different mindset where that is concerned, and they're going to support and substantiate how they understand there now. I'm not in no debate with nobody. Let me make that perfectly clear. Because however you think your life should be by your own divine creation, thus it shall be. I ain't in no judgment of how you are creating your reality. I'm just calling a spade how I see the shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm doing over here. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't, I made a proclamation that I'm not sending my lives out to nobody or anything like that, because I understand where I'm at in terms of how I understand mine now. And I want this to be a tuned in thing that you choosing. So when you come in here, right, you can easily leave. Ain't nobody sending nobody shit. I ain't sending nobody nothing, because I realize the waters that I'm treading on with this level of consciousness. Right? So I'm not here to tell any of you that you are wrong. It ain't my job to do that. Right? But I am, going to say how I understand mine now. But you don't have to, right? You don't have to. That's very true. You don't have to. That's right, Mr. Overett. You don't. I don't, we don't have to send out, we don't have to. See, Mr. Overett say, because he preferred the essence of the frequency. He said, I prefer it. Yeah. And when you are aware of the preferred experience, then you will pick and choose wisely. When you are aware what your thoughts are versus what thoughts are there that is on survival mode, and it needs your energy to be invested into that experience in order for it to maintain and sustain, and you are aware of that, then you will pick and choose wisely. But most importantly, if you are aware of who you are in truth, you will be aware when those thoughts are not yours. When you go into have a business partner and they're doubtful of themselves because they are allowing these deficit thought processes to be a part of their business, you know what it is that you need to collapse. It's either you need to pull them aside and have a conversation and be like, you know what, I realize that but you are whole, you are one, you are perfect, you are all of these things, you are amazing. You know what I'm saying? You speak life unto them. In my essence of what I'm doing right now, I'm speaking life. Reminding. Right? Yes, Arduino, Supreme Beautiful Rising. Gratitude for your presence. Divine rising unto you. Thank you for tuning into my frequency. Divine love, healing, and wholeness unto you. I am so very grateful, and welcome. Yes, you are. You are a perfect essence, having experiences that is giving you the illusion of imperfection. It was all a dream. It's giving you an illusion of imperfection. So when they come in with that mindset, well, hello, my beautiful Rosa. Hey, beautiful. Gratitude for your presence, darling. Thank you for tuning into my frequency. Divine love, healing, and wholeness unto my beautiful Rosa. Thank you. Thank you. I'm thankful. Oh, I'm grateful, Ordun. I'm grateful. Thank you for being here as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, indeed. And I hope that for those of you guys that are listening to this live in the playback, thank you, Miss Rosa, that's listening to the live and the playback and different things of that nature. Just know that there's no ill intentions on what it is that I'm saying to you guys. Is that I make a proclamation of healing. I make a proclamation of wholeness. I make a proclamation of unity. I make a proclamation of oneness. I make a proclamation of all of these divine essences of who I am in truth. And that is my truth. That is my light. That is my unconditional love. And so just like they can, hijack your consciousness with experiences that you don't want to experience and give you thoughts that you don't want to experience, right? I could do the same damn thing because it's even playing ground over here. I don't see myself less than or greater than. I see myself as is too. Grums online. Hi, Gums. I know I said your name wrong. Hi, Gums. How are you? Gratitude for your presence. Thank you for tuning into my frequency. Divine love, healing, and wholeness unto you. Oh, yes, I will play back. Oh, okay. Yeah. Indeed. So, I realize that, in many different levels of consciousness, that this particular essence of consciousness is probably unorthodox. Because there are so many different versions of selves to be experienced. And I'm not here to denounce any version of self. I'm only here to example what this version of self is. And that's it. And if you feel that this version of self is a little bit more fluid than the version of self that you're currently in, or the version of self that they are promoting or propagating for you to make a decision to be a part of an agreement, then thus it shall be. It's your choice. It's your choice. I will always see you in the power to which you truly are. I peel back the layers of the onions down to the core, because the core of you is dark matter energy that is married to light, which is information. That's power and information. Power and information. All right? You're perfect. That combo is perfection. That's what every soul is. Perfect. Every soul, I don't care what reality that they're choosing. Big goddamn difference of the consciousness of how the consciousness of that perfection is choosing to experience and express. But peel all that shit, peel all those experiences away, and deep down inside, buddy love, when you get to the core of the onion and you peel all that shit back, you're perfect. Yeah, I said it. So did. Well, divine, not all things is perfect. Not to you. It is to me. But not to you. Perfect. So now, when them problems come to you and you look at your perfect self, I'm perfect. So this problem is me. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was in agreement with it. And that's why it showed. That's why the problems came, because you was in agreement with experiencing it. So it's like, here, I'm back for some energy. Nah. Y'all remember me? I come here every day. I'm every day. I'm on time. I'm not late. I'm here for some energy. Parasite. You're perfect now. You're the perfect essence. And then here come these parasitic experiences. Knock. I'm here for my fix. Need my energy. They want to get mad now. Where you at? You don't want to argue no more? You don't see yourself as poor anymore? energy. I need that energy. Now you starving it. Now it's coming to crawl at you. Please. Just a sip of, just some water. Can you just put some water on my tongue? It's begging you now. Because they want to sustain. We can change this shit. Yo. But I ain't here to, I ain't here to tell nobody that. In a millimeter of a second. But I digress. So now for me, if somebody was to hang up in my face, if somebody was to cuss me out, somebody was to call me names, all kind of stuff, parasite. The thought that you're poor, the thought that you can't manifest nothing when you manifest who you are anyway, you're always manifesting, you're just manifesting who you are. If it's taken away from you, it's parasitic. Parasite. That was one of the first things I got rid of back in, I want to say 2011. Is fear. Fear. First thing I got rid of. One of the first. When you see yourself perfect, then you can see the fuck shit that's there to take from you. Then you will see the fuck shit that interrupts the aspect of being in your abundant self, because you dealing with shit that is parasitic in nature that's taking your fucking energy. Now you see why you in a debt-based essence of being. Because you in agreement with the fuck shit. That takes. And don't get me wrong, the essence of the perfect self that wants to experience all these things, it's okay. I mean, you're going to always go back to your perfect you. You're going to always go back to your perfect you, eventually. However you want to, either you want to zigzag or you want to climb Jacob's ladder. You know what I'm saying? You're going to always go back to your perfect self. However you want to experience the eternal aspect of being. Because you ain't got nothing but eternity. You ain't got nothing but eternity. Your eternal self. Everything outside of your... Everything outside of your truth is a story. Is an experience. What is your truth? And let me give you an example of what is my truth. My truth is divine love. My truth is unconditional love. My truth is abundance. My truth is prosperity. My truth is unity. My truth is all inclusive. My truth is wholeness. My truth is peace. My truth is understanding. My truth is compassion. Anything outside of that is there to take from me. Because that is what my truth is. Now, your truth may be something entirely different. Anything that is outside of your truth is an experience. Anything that is an experience that you do not prefer is a parasite. In that order. Now, I done took all this time and I done broke it down how I understand my now moment. I hope that it is palatable for you begin to see yourself in the higher version to which you truly are. And I send out healing. I send out the frequency of healing. Like I say, the proclamation that I make in this now moment is the healed version of self. The mini cells. Right? And I already know what time it's going to be, but it's all gravy. It's all good. And It's how I understand my now moment. I get it. Love yourself. Self-love, I love myself. And however way I see fit to do so. Gratitude to you, my beautiful sister. I'm so grateful, sir, y'all. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. What is that I'm doing? What is that? That's a battery. What is that? I don't know what that is. Is that a battery? Oh, child. Oh, thank you, Cosmos. I love you too. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, dude. Okay. All right. And if I'm gonna upload this live. And if you guys feel that this live is, thank you, Mr. Oren, my beautiful friend, my beautiful, beautiful luminous light friend. I'm so grateful. And if you guys feel that this live is beneficial, then it's okay to share. Oh, my beautiful Rosa. Thank you, Rosa. Thank you, beautiful. I'm grateful. Thank you for the love, and thank you for all of the love you guys that is given me. It is so divinely reciprocated back unto you unconditionally. So I love your story. I love your choice. I love who you are unconditionally. I understand that you're perfect either way. Either way. I understand that you are perfect, having all of these experiences by your choice, right? I'm just picking and choosing a little bit more wiser for myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing. But divine love, unconditional love, and healing to each and every one of you. All right? Mwah. I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Later.